Is it easy? No. Do I?
Yesterday is history.
I think
I don't know.
Do any of these things feel familiar? Same here. I lost count of how many times that happened, and sometimes I couldn't even remember what I wanted to look up in the first place. Social media isn't just a daily ritual anymore. It's a steady hit of cheap dopamine. That's what I want to talk about. The habit of getting dopamine from social apps and how that irritates our ability to focus. Why apathy and burnout shows up more often and how we start losing a sense of who we are. Sometimes I think about how my grandparents lived. They worked full time, took care of kids, a house, a garden, even animals, and they still found time for hobbies. Most importantly, they were happy. They didn't compare themselves to millions of people because there wasn't this constant stream of better lives. One reason they seemed more productively: no easy dopamine, no constant stimulation. Their brains got satisfaction from the real actions, finishing a task, talking to people, seeing the result. For us it's different. Every like, every notification, every new video gives the brain a quick dopamine hit. The more we get, the more we want. Over time, normal things like reading, studying, working, even simple conversation feel slow. Dopamine receptors become less sensitive, so we need more and more stimulation to feel anything. The brain literally retrains itself. It stops valuing the slow path that takes patience and efforts and starts depending on instant rewards. Among active social media users, the way information is perceived has changed a lot. We are used to short formats, Reels, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, 10 seconds of food, a joke, a war update, a dance and sad clip. Each one sparks a quick emotion, and a minute later none of it sticks. That's how clip thinking forms. Attention breaks into short flashes with no depth. The brain reacts instead of thinking. Concentration suffers, especially with books or text that requires analysis and critical thinking. Even watching a film while simultaneously scrolling your phone starts to feel normal. Constant switching becomes the default, and the brain adapts to that speed. Silence, calm, and focus begin to feel unfamiliar, even boring. One of the clearest examples of how deep that goes is a Facebook 2012 experiment. Almost 700,000 people took a part without knowing it. Facebook adjusted their feeds. One group saw more positive posts, smiles, wins, happy moments. The other saw more negative and irritation content. The question was whether a feed could change a person's mood and behavior. It could. People who saw more negative started posting more negative things. Those who saw more positive content wrote more optimistically. The takeaway was obvious. By tuning the feed, an algorithm can shift our emotions. Back then it was a short study. Today the same logic runs constantly, not for science, but for attention. Algorithms learn what triggers us. Anger, fear, envy, excitement, and show us more of it. Because strong emotions keep us longer on the app. We think we are choosing what we watch, but in reality the system is choosing for us, including how we feel and even how we see ourselves. You can see it clearly in how many users, especially women, perceive their appearance. Algorithms set the standard for what's beautiful and what isn't. They push the right nose shape, lips, jawline. Even confident people start to feel a little behind. And I'm not talking about makeup or style. I'm talking about bodies and faces and how normal gets redefined. The Instagram face. Smooth skin, sharp cheekbones, narrow nose, big eyes, full lips, keeps repeating across thousands of accounts and quietly becomes the standard. I want to be clear. I am for self-care and for intervention when they're conscious and don't erase individuality. But injections and surgeries are increasingly treated as a maintenance, not a change. Slowly the line between natural and artificial fades. Women see not themselves but a mismatch with what's on the screen. They feel they don't measure up even when they look objectively great. Algorithms keep feeding more perfect faces, and the feeling grows. At some point, the simple wish to look nice turns into anxiety. Then the real problem starts. One procedure leads to another. Someone pushes their body too hard, someone stops eating properly, and someone lives with guilt about their reflection. Psychologists call it body dysmorphia, a disordered perception of your own face and body. In 2021, researchers described Snapchat dysmorphia, when people want to look like their filtered selves. The brain gets used to the edited image and stops seeing natural features as normal. This has gone far beyond aesthetic. It's psychological pressure that makes people lose connection with themselves. When every detail is fixable, individuality fades, and with it the inner sense of "this is me." Many users live in constant comparison. Someone prettier, slimmer, more successful. The closer they try to get to the ideal, the further it moves. Because the ideal isn't a person, it's an algorithm that keeps generating a new better and a new right. In that endless race, it's harder to feel good enough. The saddest part is that many don't notice how they lose not only naturalness, but also confidence and the joy of being themselves. There are real-world cases that show where that can lead. For example, an Australian model and influencer publicly spent over $200,000 on cosmetic procedures to look like an Instagram filter. She admits she can't stop. Every new change works for a while, then the feeling of not perfect yet returns. Psychologists often cite this as a digital dysmorphia, trying to turn a digital image into a real face. It's not only about looks. The more time people spend online, the more often they feel their life isn't good enough. Someone else seems to live brighter, faster, fuller. Someone always travels. Someone has a dream job. Someone buys a new car. Someone gets married, and everyone looks happy. Your own life starts to seem too ordinary. That quiet, constant dissatisfaction appears. It feels like you're always late, in career, in relationship, in experience. The more you compare, the more the anxiety grows. The problem is that the brain treats the on-screen montage as a norm. When it sees only success, it quietly concludes, everyone is moving forward except me. Over time, that turns into emotional exhaustion. All of this, constant comparison, dopamine dependency, loss of focus, and loss of self, works like a loop. The brain keeps chasing quick hits and outside validation, but ends up tired. You watch, scroll, react, and a sense of emptiness builds up. What's out there shines brighter, where your own life feels smaller. That inner contrast between their perfection and my normal is one reason depression and anxiety arise among heavily social media users. Researchers have been talking about this for years. In 2018, a team of the University of Pennsylvania ran one of the most cited studies on this topic. They split students into two groups. One used Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat as usual. The other limited usage to 30 minutes a day, 10 minutes per app. The experiment ran for 3 weeks, while researchers tracked anxiety, loneliness, depression, and self-esteem. The results were clear. In the limited group, anxiety and loneliness dropped by about 30%. People felt calmer and said it was easier to focus and enjoy ordinary things. In the unlimited group, indicators of anxiety and depression symptoms went up. The mechanism is simple. The more time you spend in the feed, the more you're exposed to social comparison. The brain keeps reading signals that others live better, faster, happier, and takes it as the proof of your own luck. First it's mild irritation or envy, then apathy. You celebrate your own wins a bit less because there is always someone more successful. Over time, the dopamine system stopped responding the way it used to. Nothing brings joy, even what used to. That's a new kind of depression, quite accumulated with feeling that nothing matters. Not because life is bad, but because the brain forgot how to feel. And maybe it's the most dangerous kind of addiction, when yours seems to live, but you're not actually living. When every action feels not enough, and as long as the feed keeps refreshing, it gets harder to stop and just be. But despite all of this, it would be too naive to say we should quit social media completely. It's a part of our life now. It helps with connection, learning, inspiration, but we can use it wisely. Start with awareness. Don't just scroll. Notice why you open the app. If it's boredom, pause, breathe, step outside, call someone. Let the screen time be a choice, not a reflex. Second of all, limit your time. 1 hour a day is already a big change. Set a timer or a simple rule. Check it in the morning or evening. Keep the day for real life. Choose content that builds you up, not empties you. Skip empty 10 seconds video and go for longer podcasts, lectures, documentaries, anything that asks for attention and gives something back. That have you retrain focus and stop feeling the craving for instant dopamine. And the most important, don't compare your behind the scene to someone else's perfect reality that they want you to see online.